Marcus North maintained his exceptional form with the bat for Glamorgan as he hit his first 100 for the county, who had much the better of the second day of their LV County Championship clash in Cardiff against Leicestershire. As the other matches around the country got underway, this was the second day of this game, and Leicestershire resumed on 199 for 6 after a battling first day in which they'd slipped from the safety of 157 for 2 to 181 for 6 at one point. Their recovery was led by Preston Momsen and Wayne White, who spent the best part of the first hour of the morning taking the important 7th wicket partnership to 60, as the Glamorgan seamers couldn't make the most of the second new ball, which was only 11 overs old at the start of the day. With 2 overs of the bonus point scoring time remaining, Leicestershire would have been hopeful of adding a second batting point. They then lost both batsmen in the space of an over. White on 26 took on Dean Koska but drove him to mid-off, while Momsen was bowled by a ball from Jim Allenby which nipped back. The Scottish star was out for 35. That put Leicestershire on 241 for 8 after 110 overs, and although they had to make do with just the one bonus point, their tail did add some valuable runs, with Robbie Joseph and Claude Henderson able to put on an additional 29 runs for the 9th wicket. But the innings was all over by lunch. Allenby ended with the excellent figures of 4 for 39 from 22 overs by trapping Henderson in front for 11 before Nathan Buck was bowled by Koska for a duck. So Leicestershire were all out for 271, and now it was their turn to see what they could do with the ball against a side which has really struggled for runs at this ground so far this year. Like Leicestershire, they had to change their top order to bring in a change of fortune, with Gareth Rees now being joined by Will Bragg at the opening spot. And sure enough, this pair got their side off to their best start this summer. These shots include strokes from both left-handers, although sometimes that is difficult to tell as their batting styles are almost indistinguishable from one another. Leicestershire had hardly hit a shot in anger on the first day, but these two had 75 runs on the board after only 14 overs. In trying to keep the rate going, Bragg drove White on the up and was held by Josh Cobb at mid-off to go for 22. Stuart Walters returned to the side and came in at number 3, only to depart with just 4 runs to his name, as he let a ball from White bowl him without playing a shot. Rees was playing some shots, however, determined that this was going to be the innings to turn his side's season around. Since the arrival of North, there have been some improvements, but no victories. Rees aimed to change that here. To his 88th ball, he finally secured his first 50 of the summer. He'd hit 7 fours, and now, with North for company, he would have been hoping to bat on for some time. North made a steady start as he got his eye in before he exploded into life, dominating the scoring. The Australian came into his side in something of a crisis a couple of weeks ago, and he's not looked back since. However, he can't be expected to carry this batting unit on his own. Glamorgan had lost their way once he was out in the run chase at Hampshire last weekend, and North clearly didn't want to see that happen again. He and Rees survived until tea, and North made a 50 again, this time off 69 balls. Leicestershire desperately needed something to happen, and it did once this pair had taken their partnership to 103. Rees on 66 could hardly believe that his pile driver of a cut off Joseph was held by Momsen. Not that that really put Glamorgan back any. It was like watching a totally different match from the first day, with runs now coming thick and fast, as the Leicestershire bowlers failed to always put the ball in the right place, now allowing Ben Wright to get off to a quick start. North, with 3 50s from 4 innings prior to this match, has made a habit of getting out around the 70 mark in his brief time at Glamorgan. No bad habit that, but this time he was not going to give his wicket away when so well set. He and Wright were now closing in on Leicestershire's first innings total too. North was able to get to 3 figures for the 34th time in his brilliant career, and his relief was there for all to see. It had been another superb innings from the Aussie, who just loves county cricket. He'd needed only 120 balls to get there too, and that had ensured that his side were now moving along quickly in this contest. And soon enough the Welshmen were ahead, with Wright also advancing at an excellent rate. Having struggled with the bat for so long, this was the day that they and their supporters had been waiting for. Wright was unfortunate to get out when he did, and in the manner he did. A touch off the glove was all that Buck needed to have Wright caught behind for 44, with his side now 8 runs to the good. If North had been able to stay in until the close, then this would have been about as good a day as Glamorgan could possibly have hoped for. He took advantage of some rather tired-looking bowling from a Leicestershire side, which has now spent an awful lot of time in the field recently. But they were rewarded with the wicket of North 10 minutes before the close. He got a little touch onto his pad and was taken by Ned Eckersley off the bowling of Claude Henderson, a rather tame end to a brilliant innings. And it was one which has given Glamorgan a wonderful chance of ending their barren run. North made 116 and by the close the home side had amassed a total of 302 for 5, which gives them a lead of 31 with plenty of batting still to come. They also have plenty of time to rack up maximum batting bonus points for the first time this season.